Getting back into the podcast mindset framework, 4 areas: spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. But what you will be surprised to know is that it is still 4 areas, but I found a correlation between the tripartite space of a human being. So body, soul, and spirit. So now I'm reframing it as you have the spiritual spirit, you have mental and emotional space as soul. So mind, will, and emotions is considered the soul man. And then you have your physical, which is your body. So tripartite is the fancy theological word, but I started looking at it and I was like, I think we can do this in 3 areas instead of 4, and then it would mirror how God designed us. So started adding that little wrinkle in, but anyway, I'm excited to be back on the grind with it. We're going to shoot 1 or 2 like this. We're going to get more people involved. I got lots of different questions, lots of different people. And if this turns out to be good, a good format, we'll stick with this one because this is a lot easier for people anyway. Instead of having to come here. I still like the studio aspect, but I think I want this way. That way I could reach out to people that are distant, 2 states away, and I can always connect to my boy Noah, who is doing a what is it called? An internet show.
Yes.
So as we get into
I have a habit.
I love it. So let's get into the space. So countercultural life, we do things differently. It's all about living countercultural in a world and society that's telling you to do it one way. We do it a different way. So that's what this is about. But I do want to get into asking you some questions about the internet show that I saw. I was intrigued by. Tell me about it. What led to it? Where can people find it? Reach out to you. What is it? Just give me the overview. Give me the overview and then what it means. What do you do?
You didn't do your normal intro. Are we recording right now? Like, are we in the podcast?
I'm so excited.
I can't tell.
I don't even know what to do.
Know what's happening right now. I don't know if you're just talking to me, which is either way is great. I just don't know what's happening.
Okay. What is the?
But do you want me to talk about that on the podcast?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going to talk about.
I can just cut all this out. I can cut all this out, and I can just launch into it.
Okay, so let me do the intro.
You didn't say welcome back. You always say welcome back.
Yes. Okay.
Trust me, I know. I edit them all. I know exactly what you say at the beginning because that's where I know when to cut it.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Here we go. Cut's on. Liquid death is in full effect. And action. Welcome back, everybody. We're back in the house. Countercultural life coming to you live and direct from Study Studio. We have a different format now, a little bit coming from your Study Studio here. Noah, where are you at? What do you call your office, your space?
I guess I would call it the studio.
The studio.
Because I got all my instruments back there and ready to rock and roll. You
said the eye, and I thought you were going with the eye of the hurricane. I was like, well, that's a dope name.
That's fire. That would be fire.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're coming back.
You can add that to your outro.
There you go. The eye of the hurricane. Coming from Study Studio in the eye of the hurricane. So we're going to get back into it. Just welcome back. We've coming back at you live and direct. Different format, different mindset, different style. Different format, same mindset, different style. So coming at you, we're going to talk through some stuff. We're going to get back into the 4 areas: spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. Countercultural life. We talk about doing it counterculturally. And Noah, in fashion as usual, and being excellent as he is, has no idea what I'm going to talk about. But I am going to start with, before we go to these other spaces that I do want to talk about, We're going to start with Noah's new internet show. So, what led to it? Tell us about it. Where do people find it? Where can we watch it? Give us the insight.
So the thing that you're referring to, which is me calling it an internet show, is because I have a habit of making a video and calling it episode 1 of a new series. And a lot of times there won't even be an episode 2. But I have currently like 5 different internet shows through the place that I work and a personal one. The personal one is Hot Takes with Noah. That's the one I want to plug because that's the one where we review liquid death flavors, and that's my baby. So you can follow it, Hot Takes with Noah, on Instagram. But the one he's referring to is Noah's Nav internet interview show, and it's for work. I work at a power sports dealer, Kawasaki dealer specifically, and we just have a big event coming up. So I took inspiration from the Instagram account Subway Takes, which I highly recommend. They're great. Just people on the subway giving their hot takes about New York, which is fun. But it was just a cool little thing to film. And I've already filmed episode 2. So there will be an episode 2. And you can find that on, what's the Instagram account? United Cycle _WV or something. But it's not as important. Hot Takes with Noah is the important one.
Hot Takes with Noah. So let's do it off the cuff right now. Hot Take with Noah. Because
for real? You want to do one, like a for real one?
Before
I have something that I haven't filmed yet.
Well, I was gonna go with. I saw you had a fire flavor of your favorite drink.
This one's it's not like a.
Well, give us a sample of what a hot take is.
Okay, so this would be if it's a hot take with Noah. So it'd be like, welcome back to Hot Takes with Noah. And then I will introduce the special guest, which most of the times is my wife, but sometimes we'll have a special guest on. And then I'll be like, this is the drink. And then we drink it, and it's got a little drum roll. And then we say how we feel about it, give it a rating out of 10. And then that's it. It's super simple. But the editing is really fun. That's the fun part, is I throw a bunch of random stuff in the edits, which makes it fun. And it only takes me like 20 minutes to edit, which is nice. A lot of the editing I do, the Noah's internet show one, that took 2 hours to do all that editing. So, but anyway, so it'd be like, wow, that tastes exactly like peach. This one actually doesn't. This one's flat. It's watery. I don't know what happened. But yeah, that would be it. So the next one I have is I have a death pepper, liquid death, that I haven't done a video on yet. That's going to be the first one that gets a bad review, I think. So
death pepper sounds not good in the water.
Nah, it doesn't. I'm not looking forward to it, but I have them, so I got to drink them at some point.
Because, I mean, death pepper goes against what water is supposed to do. So then your senses will be confused because your mouth is hot, but you can't cool it because the water actually makes it hot. I don't know. I can't wait to see that one. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm
so
excited.
That's it. That's what's going on with me on the internet show front. And now back to the #1 internet show, Countercultural Life podcast.
Coming on strong. We have a goal to shoot 100 episodes before we ever even think about stopping. So we're going to continue to shoot, continue to adapt, continue to evolve. Some of the best podcasts out there started off just like this. So we're going to do it. Bring more people in. We're going to have conversations all around physical space, spiritual space, emotional space, and the mental space. But Noah also wasn't prepared for this. So he didn't know. He knows I love questions. So he said that he had, and he knows where I'm going to go with this once he hears the question. So you said editing takes you not long at all for the Hot Take show, and you love it. It takes 20 minutes. What programs are you using to edit it? And are those programs AI affiliated?
Yes, actually, but there's you got to break your AI. Okay, you're getting me. You're getting me started on my AI horse. That's crazy. So
it's almost like I know what
there's
I'm doing.
2 different types of AI. There's 2 different types of AI. There's generative AI and machine learning AI. They're very different.
Yep.
Generative AI is like image generation, video generation, and all that. I do not use that at all. As little like I use it for working with artists. I will mock something up with AI and then send it to them and like, hey, this is kind of roughly, but then like do your own thing with it. Because I believe in paying artists. It's it's a cringe Zoomer take to some, but
Yeah.
I try my best to do that. But the big thing that I use is any clip that you see from here. The software I use, DaVinci, it has AI subtitles. So I do the subtitles with AI and then I go in and fix where it's wrong. But that's the only software I use for video editing is DaVinci Resolve. It's free to use most of it. I have the studio version because I got it for free. And it's the best editing software. You get every update for free. You have a license forever, which is awesome. So, um, not into the AI stuff yet, but if it continues getting better, I think right now it's like so obvious when something's done by AI still that it's not gotten there. Um, I'm sure that I'll have to adapt and learn to use it and get better with it but right now I'm not using a lot of AI. But would you like to talk about how you're using AI?
You know I was going AI with quickness. Let me see live and direct, raw and real, shutting doors because dogs come in. Man, I have been deep down the rabbit hole on generative AI. I mean, you can go to like ChatGPT, large language models. We're learning the terms. When I say we're, me and Noah both are learning the terms of what they mean because I love the way you broke that down. Machine learning and generative AI, and then had that breakdown. I've been using a lot of ChatGPT, learning Gemini. I have a plan to learn Claude, which is Anthropic's model. And I'm not too keen on Grok. Grok's doing some weird stuff with Elon. Elon's always doing some weird stuff. There's the new Avatar Annie that's out that's super weird, creepy, and I mean, I have a lot to say on that. And I'll just say this much. I've been listening to certain spaces, certain podcasts where they're talking about we're going to quickly move into AI rights. So where people think that ChatGPT is sentient, or Annie, which is Grok's avatar character that can literally have a conversation with you, and we're going to quickly move into AI rights a lot more soon than I ever thought we would. So within 2 years, we're going to have people fight, maybe less, fighting for AI rights, saying that these are beings with a conscience. So I'm just saying that to say we're getting into some weird, crazy spaces already. If you're paying attention, I love Noah because Noah is very strategic and very forward thinking. So he's able to spot trends and see stuff before it happens. And I'm kind of the same way in regards to strategy and business spots and places. And what I'm seeing right now is one part cool, one part amazing, and 85 parts terrifying. So it's just, and Noah, this is my concern. I don't think that people are paying attention to how quickly it's happening. And that's the one thing that scares me. So I think it'll be on us before we realize it. But what are your
Can I
thoughts?
retort? Can I retort with a hopeful comment of something that I think might happen before that?
Yes, please.
I think it's possible that the saturation of misinformation, the saturation, I see mostly like what you're talking about. The majority of what I see united across lines that normally aren't united, across race lines, across party lines, is against what you are talking about, like against like the idea that robots are sentient, that kind of thing. So I think like people my age, I'm actually like less worried about that.
Yeah.
Um, I think that it's going to happen, and there's going to be some people, but I don't think that there will be a massive push. I think it'll get shut down very quickly. And actually, what I think is possible that I've been thinking about is just with the amount of misinformation online, I think that we're going to be forced to rely on word of mouth and rely on the people close to us. And this could be bad for some people, but great for me. But forcing people into small communities again, like where kind of what's outside of your community is not as big of a deal as the, like even remembering when I was a kid and like the big scandal was like an Instagram, like a Kardashian edited her pictures to make her look better.
Yeah.
And now you can just do that, not even any effort. You don't have to pay somebody. You just throw it into ChatGPT and like I think that like because of that, there's going to become a premium on true information that can only come from those around you. And that's my optimistic, which I'm not optimistic. So this is me playing devil's advocate a little bit, generally. But I do think that it's possible that what you're saying happens. But I also like I see the things people say online that are my age, and I don't think that they would really want that to happen. I think that people my age are actually like super anti AI, like from everything I see. Like they get mad at someone for using ChatGPT at all, which is, you know, wrong the other direction. But I don't think that the AI rights thing, at least to people my age, I don't know. I know way more about people my age than people that are actually in power, which is 80-year-olds. So I don't know
I'm
what
glad
they're
you
gonna
said it
think
like
of
that.
me.
I thought you were gonna go. I know a lot more about people my age than people your age. I was like, really, we're going there. But then he switched it and went 80s. I'm like, all right, we're cool still. So
You're too young. You're too young to be in politics.
yes, I appreciate that. JD Vance would and me are pretty close to the same age. Uh, I love that. I love your take on it, and I agree. And I'm also hopeful that will happen. What I also am starting to really see is you hear, and I run the gamut on whether you listen to people that are highly optimistic. I listen to people that are highly optimistic, people that are in the middle, and then people that are doomers and have P doom numbers, which is the big term people are using now. What's your P doom number? And you're like, I don't know. There's a 50% chance that, Arnold shows up and takes the world over. That whole mindset. But I believe that it will drive people into community. I also believe that the people who have the ability to connect with people will find themselves in greater spaces of influence. I really believe that. I really believe that our ability to connect with a person on a personal level and have deep conversations with a physical being will be a tool that people will need to learn how to use rather quickly and efficiently if they want to, be able to speak into this space that we're about to go into. Stanford just released a big showing or a big projection on jobs, and they use ADP to kind of look at the job space. And what they've seen already is that generative AI and such things like we've talked about, large language models. Hope I'm getting the terminology right as we get into this and know the spaces have already started to take jobs. So if I flip from the positive side and say, yes, there's going to drive people into communities, connection is going to be at a premium. People that are good at connecting are going to be, highly sought after. People that operate in the spaces where you can do some of the stuff that I'm able to do, coach and executive coach, and kind of be in this space with people are going to be valuable, hopefully. Maybe that's just my hope for myself and my career to stay in that. But anyway, what I have heard though, and what is my concern, and this is getting back to the counterculture space. I believe currently that absolute truth is at an all-time low. Moral absolutes. I believe we live in, and this is for my age demographic, and for what I've seen, I feel like, and it's could be a feeling that a spirit of relativism is taking over. Whatever's good for me, that's what I believe in. And I think tying it back to AI, what we're seeing is since we're in a space of moral depravity to an extent, And when people are greedy, you put the moral depravity and greedy into the same pot. You mix it all up, and what do you get? You get CEOs that are cutting jobs to make more money, to provide bigger return on investment. If I can hire a machine to do a job that I had 10 people to do, I can cut the salaries of 10 people. I can pay next to nothing for the machine, and I can become richer and more profitable in my business. And that's what I get concerned about. So with the level of greediness that man is currently in, and more depravity, greediness, and the big need, and I know what I always say, it's not a Christian podcast, but the big need for people to have a moral absolute. And as a Christ follower, I believe God determines that moral absolute. I think that's what I'm concerned with. And I am looking at ways to leverage my Christianity, my Christian belief set, my worldview to ethically approach the AI dilemma that we might be ready to go into. So just
No,
that.
I mean, I'm with you. I have heard, so it's $2 million to automate a McDonald's, and taking a McDonald's from 55 employees to 5. It's $2 million is nothing like
Yeah.
for that. And it is scary. And the hope is, because this isn't the first time that we've had some great technological innovation that everyone's like, okay, jobs are all going away. What are we going to do? The question is going to be, what are the new jobs that are going to come up because of this? And the one that everyone's always going to say is like, well, someone's got to take care of the machines and stuff if they become self-sufficient, which the real question is, can that even happen? Like, can we actually reach that level? Um, but yeah, I mean, it is scary, especially being my age, and I'm not necessarily where I want to be career wise. Like I have aspirations. Like I want to end up in a space where I can move up and all that. So, but what marketing is something that I think will always have a need for. Humans will always be in marketing because you have to market to humans, and a robot's never going to be able to. I don't think a robot will ever be able to be ahead of something. Like, because at least how it is right now, the AI has to learn from something that already happened. So they're going to get faster at learning, but there's still going to be like a need for it. But at the same time, marketing firms are going to only need a few really creative people that can then leverage AI. So that's going to be the thing. And I'm trying to fight against it myself because I am pro artist and pro humanity, I guess. And I don't want to use generative AI, but I'm going to have to learn how to if it becomes clear that like if my boss tomorrow was like, hey, well, your output isn't good enough and I want you to start using AI to get that. I know it won't happen because he wouldn't do that to me. That's how I feel about it. But at the same time, like I would need to do it. And I would, because you don't, I can't sacrifice my family's future for my own high horse, I guess.
Yeah.
Something so.
Yeesh. I have so many directions I want to go now, but I'm going to stick with one. So I believe that people that are built like you, and I know you really well, you'll be fine in this next age, because what the nerds are saying is, I jokingly say nerds because now I'm a nerd and I'm studying anybody that does deep research on anything is a nerd pretty much, because you're nerding out on whatever the topic you're looking at. What I'm hearing though is the key, the people that are going to succeed in this space are the people that are flexible and can learn quickly and can ask good questions and adapt to whatever's happening as we move forward. So people that are made like you are, I think, are going to be fine. And it is going to take some jobs. It is going to shift some stuff around. I do believe, like you, that there'll be a lot of jobs that are created. And I think the people that are going to struggle are the people that are going to push against where we're going. And it's not where we're going, where society is not really society is moving, but where we're moving because of the technology. The people that push against it and refuse to adapt or even learn, they're going to struggle. And but that's with everything though. That's not just, I think, not just with AI. That's with everything. If you get stuck in a mindset and can't move past and adjust your. But what I want to go to though is you made a comment, and I've been deep in this space too now. I've been deep in the value space. Values, VAO, that like personal values. People have organizational values, like integrity is our value, blah, blah, blah. But personal values, because you said something interesting. You said you would, in order to take care of your family and feed your family, you might have to shift your thinking. In this value space, like there are values, if we had time, we'd break down what drives Noah. You would say, I have a spiritual base. That's one of my values. I believe you would say the same thing. I believe honesty probably is one of the values that drives you. But what happens if you have a boss that then his values are out of alignment with your values? How far do you let him push you out of your value set before you say, I can't do this anymore? I took a whole left turn on you right there. I apologize, but
Oh, I mean, I think like that for anyone, you just have to. I think that like, okay, well, number one, I wouldn't any spiritual value I have, that would definitely be like a line, which is a good thing about working for Christian people as a Christian. It's something
yeah,
that I don't have to worry about. Um, and which I think is why I find myself in spaces around Christian people because, and I think that goes for anybody that believes anything. You find yourself around people that align with you because that's something that is easier. Uh, I think it really just boils down to. I think it's just kind of a case by case basis. I think that having that spiritual line, knowing, or whatever the values that me and my family have set, whatever me and my wife have decided that we are going to agree to, I, but I think that like in this space, this is something that I could compromise on, especially just depending on what I needed to do. But again, at this point, I think I can do a better job than AI. So when that changes, then things will change and it won't feel as bad. But I don't. I'm optimistic that I'm not going to have to worry about that because I think that they're all going to get sued to oblivion and the bubble's going to burst, and there's going to be at least a few years before they take over. But we'll see. We'll see. That's me being optimistic about. That's me being way too optimistic. Um, but yeah, that I think that it's kind of like a complicated answer because there's not. I can answer the question on this topic, but I think that what you're hinting at is kind of a bigger topic where someone just has to kind of decide that for themselves what
yeah.
that would be, and just try to surround themselves with people that will A, hold you accountable, and be willing to work with you on that. So
I asked that question because I know that's going to come into play down the road with if I think the timelines for AI are a little too accelerated and what people are thinking, and I may be wrong. I think it's going to be more 2030 before we see a lot of big changes. There's some people that think it's 2027. Some people even go as far as say 2035, but I think it will make some changes. And I'm where I asked the value question is there will come a time, especially with there's a lot of ethical questionably there's a lot of questionably I got what was the
ethically questionable.
ethically questionable stuff that's happening with AI.
Yeah, I
What?
mean, they all learned off of stolen information. They all
Right,
learned off of things that they stole.
right. Yeah. So it's like, what happens when my value set collides with a value set? And it goes because everybody has a value set, and some people's value sets are morally inept and wrong. And what happens when my value set collides with theirs? And what happens when my value set collides with theirs and they're the ones that's paying the bills? It's like I have to make a decision. And I think we're going to have to really start to understand how to navigate that space coming up in the near future. So, man, lots of
Also,
happening.
real quick,
Yeah.
this is something I've talked about before, I think. And I don't know about it on the podcast, but let's throw this out there. Whatever is going to happen, AI isn't taking over until nuclear power gets all across America. Straight up. It'll hit China first because China's ahead of the curve on nuclear power, but we cannot sustain AI at our current energy rate.
No.
So, and they're working on it, and it's going to be amazing. I am #1 nuclear fan. Except, like, I hate that it took AI to get there, but love nuclear. It's going to be awesome, and then that'll create jobs too. So, we're all
Yeah.
going to be Homer Simpson.
Yes, that's right. It's funny. The Simpsons predict the future yet again.
I know that's the craziest thing. They predicted the end of humanity with Homer's job.
Yeah. Yes.
But
It's so funny though that you say that, because I want to talk about that now. How long are we going to shoot this podcast for tonight?
we're currently at 27 minutes.
Oh, we got time. Okay. Okay. Well, this will be extended, just a little bit extended. You made a comment just now that I love, and I'm not used to that coming from your age demographic. Because here's just this is my beliefs, my opinion. I believe that we have demonized nuclear power over the last 50 years, and I
That's not
believe.
my age group. My age group loves nuclear.
Okay, tell me why.
Oh, because it's trendy to like nuclear, but because, well, if you look at, we don't have the trauma associated with it, so we're just looking at the facts, which is that it's awesome. So, I mean, when you don't have the association with it, I think that that's a huge thing. It's just PR. Nuclear PR is better now. But I guess I'm in I'm also realizing I'm pretty exposed to right-wing views online, but I guess I exist in a more left space online, even though that doesn't necessarily align with my own politics.
Yeah.
But so the left, I don't speak for the left, but I guess in this topic, they're pro-nuclear generally,
It's
which is good.
crazy. I don't think my age demographic would understand that, and I think they'd be doing what I'm doing right now and be like, is that are you sure? But it's funny that you're talking about this today. I was just listening to Simon Sinek's podcast earlier with Isabel Bomake. I don't know. Anyway, she's a former Brazilian supermodel, which made no sense. They started talking, I was like, what? And she is pro-nuclear. And it says Simon goes nuclear with nuclear energy influencer, an influencer. Her screen name is tight. Her screen name is Isodope. And I was like, yes, I like that already. But they were talking about, she's your age, and she was talking about the same thing you are. So it's interesting that you said that. I'm like, man, it's two people in the same day that are saying that, because I'm in that space. That's my world. My world, it's radiates around that space. But I love this space. I love the people in the space. Got a lot of great people in the nuclear energy space, and a lot of great people, a lot of great leaders. And I thought I would be in the minority with that minds, with that, hey, knowing that our infrastructure is not capable of powering AI, and it's going to take SMRs, small modular reactors, to do the job of running the data centers. And I heard a data point recently that by 2030, we will only have enough power to run the prospective data center, the forecasted data centers, 2030, and no power for anything else, which is scary if you take the Terminator view and go, this is when they take
It'll be fine. They're not going to shut the lights off. They can't do that. Like
Yeah.
they're just not gonna do that. But also, I mean, it's huge that we're importing a lot of energy. We're importing a lot of our energy, which is a crazy. I did not know this until a couple months ago. We're importing a bunch of energy from Canada, which is wild. Wind turbines, horribly inefficient. Solar panels, unreliable and expensive. Fossil fuel power. God bless America, but it's gonna run out
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, we can only I can't say that, but we can only continue getting more oil through different ways so many times.
Yeah. I love how you censored yourself right there.
I don't want to have to beep it later.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I mean, you're right. And it's I'm glad the younger folks think the same thing now. Um, I found out I don't know how if I could validate this information. I'm sure we could research and figure it out. But I heard that Russia had used propaganda during the 80s and 90s to further demonize nuclear power in the United States. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And had possibly used and hired um, certain groups. And one of the guys like it was not Greenpeace, but it was a group that was like Greenpeace, paid them to do some of this, to do some of the propagandizing on nuclear fuel. So interesting stuff we're learning now. Yeah. Small modular reactors is the next big thing. Gotta
It's
have
gonna be
new.
sick.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be a different world. All right, man. What else? What else are we gonna close out? What's the plan going forward? Have we determined a plan? I think we go to this format. We invite more people in. Noah's gonna host the
We'll see. We don't even know how this looks yet. We've recorded it. We'll see how it turns out once I
and how
end
it
the recording.
sounds and if the lighting's right and
Yeah,
all that good stuff. I
but
have this. I'm ready just in case. I have this. Of course, it's behind everything. Look at I got this big mic.
there we go.
This
I'm
big
just on
mic.
the AirPod mic, so I don't know how I'm gonna sound. I'm gonna hook up a microphone in the future, but oh, you unplugged your mic. You can't I can't hear you anymore. We've lost you. We've lost Drew. Well, I'll close this out while he fixes this. When it comes to nuclear, China's way ahead of us. So if you need a hobby, just start learning Mandarin just in case. That's my conspiracy theory this week. Drew, you can see his face. I think he's agreeing with me, but oh, there he is. There
Am
he
I
is.
back on?
Yep. Time to start learning Chinese, buddy.
Bro. So some folks say they're 10 years ahead.
They are. They just are.
Yeah.
Their nuclear infrastructure, the only thing that's holding them back is their socioeconomic structure and their dictatorship, basically.
Yeah. Scary. Scary.
And
Man.
their lack of third places.
Yeah. Man. I am concerned. I think every American citizen should be concerned. I think we should be paying better attention than we are. But look, what did George Orwell say? I keep seeing the thing that comes up talking about, gambling, give them gambling and sports and alcohol, and they'll be distracted. And that is where we're at right now. And the world is still moving at a rapid pace. But to give you some hope, one of the books I'm almost done reading now is called, oh man, I hate this when it happens. I blank on it. It's about geopolitical spaces. Oh, I'm just gonna look it up because I have it on my phone. It is a very good book to be paying attention to because it will give you some insight into what we're dealing with currently. Prisoners of Geography. Fantastic book. Talks about how where we're located on the globe determines the viability of our protection, the viability of our protection, the power of our military might is all determined basically where you're at on the globe. And let me just say this: if you are an American citizen living in the confines of the wonderful United States of America, you need to be very thankful and very blessed that you were born into the United States, because no other country has what we have, and that's water on both sides, which is very beneficial, especially when it comes to making war, and people getting to us is more difficult. And we have a neighbor to the north that likes us, and for the most part, a neighbor to the south that likes us for the most part right now. So yeah, exactly. So be thankful for that. And I would say the one closing thought is like Noah said, basically pay attention, because we're falling behind and we need to do something about it. You got to start living countercultural, because countercultural says we got to do this differently. And right now we're not doing it differently. Right now it's the same old. We're following the same patterns. We're distracted all the time. We're not paying attention. We love speaking of McDonald's, we love our McDonald's cheeseburgers. We love our fast food restaurants on every corner. We love our quick availability of food. We love our quick availability of entertainment. And because of that, we're
That
missing.
made me think of something. A perfect way to end this podcast.
Do it.
This is something that John Bellion, one of my favorite artists, came up with. I don't know if he came up with it, but I heard him say this on a podcast. And when asked about AI, so he said basically, when man first existed, if we wanted to eat an apple, we had to grow the apple, we had to pick it and take care of all of it. And then it got to a point where all we had to do was pick the apples. We'd go pick the apples. And then it got to a point where someone else would pick it for us. And then we just go to the grocery store and we'd get an apple from the grocery store. Then it got to a point where now you can have somebody deliver an apple to your house. If you want an apple, now you can have someone deliver it to your house. So at this point, what's next is just paying someone to shove an apple in your mouth. And at what point in that process are you going to say, no more, I need my autonomy? And for him, he was saying, right now, I'm at least going to keep going to the supermarket and buying an apple. And when it comes to AI, that's kind of the way, as musicians, we're thinking about it. Like, I can have 1,600 guitars in an instant with AI, or do I want to put my heart into it? So that's kind of how, that's how I think that we should be thinking about it, is where am I in this process and where do I want to be? So that's my closing remarks.
Money. Fantastic way to end it. Countercultural life, new format, same mindset, changing the world, one podcast at a time, headed to 100. We ain't slowing down. Holler at your boy Drew and Noah. We will see y'all next time. Peace.
Go Broncos.
Go. Nick Bonitto.
My boy, Nick Bonitto.
Nick Bonitto. Where did he play college ball at?
Where did the most draft picks come from?
Oklahoma.
Definitely not.
Oklahoma. Nick Bonitto.
I gotta figure out how to end this recording.
Nick Bonitto was an Oklahoma star.